So, this is the first episode of our after show called Plan D. So, yeah.
Yay!
Alright, so in this we're gonna, first half we're gonna talk about chapter 1 of Out of the Abyss. We're gonna take a quick break to talk about basically, normally that would be our viewer submitted questions section, but for right now we don't have any. So what we're gonna do is shout out different YouTube channels, and we'll get to that in a bit. In the second half we're gonna talk about the second chapter of the story. So, first chapter of the story. You guys initially start in the prison. How did y'all feel about that, being in such a claustrophobic space with all these other ridiculous people?
I liked it because we had the idea that this place is huge, but our routine took us through such a small amount.
Yep.
So we had so much just uncertainty about the place that I thought it was really fun.
I was mostly just pissed the whole time. I was like, I'm ready to kill some stuff. I don't want to be just scrubbing floors. I mean, this is
chaotic evil.
Well, okay, my character was pissed, and I was also kind of like, okay, this is not, like, we need to figure out a way out of here quick.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we went through the same, like, cycle of, like, feeding time and then scrubbing the floors and, like, there was no way out, then I would have been, like, frustrated.
Suicide.
Also, my character would have started to act very crazy if that had happened more. So, on that first day, because that was my character's first day in, it was, I mean, he didn't do anything rash. He kind of held back. But in regard to the other prisoners, he was obviously very confident because he had escaped prison before.
Yeah, okay. Alright, what about Achuik? How did he feel?
Achuik felt on top of the world the entire time.
That he was a little on edge. Is that how you would describe ripping open a deep gnome's chest?
Look, Achuik is very primal, okay? He's very for himself.
Yeah.
So whenever he did that, he didn't get any pleasure out of it, or he didn't get any, he didn't satisfy, a psychopathic need.
Yeah.
He did it because he is a lizard folk. He did it because he has impulsive survivalness, awareness, right? So he's he was thinking, my odds of surviving will be infinitely better if I get a shield.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked to me.
That's
He talked me
wild.
into it.
I didn't want to do it.
I did because I had some emotion attached to it, but I also know that specifically when you play Lizard Folk, you love making shields, so I knew you wanted one immediately.
Yeah.
Normally I'd ask how Drew felt Lannister was, but he couldn't make it to this, so oh well, not a big deal. How do you think
Shucks.
Tallow felt in this claustrophobic space with all of these slightly mass murderers?
I'd say he felt, he wasn't even conflicted, he just didn't like any of them.
Holy
Yeah, how long was Tallow in there?
9 days.
Oh, so he's
been
over.
in
I've been sitting through it for a while. I'd say I was pretty depressed. You know, I'm just sitting there and I can't do anything in the name of my God. I can't, righteously kill these fools. Because, I'm supposed to be, putting fear into everyone with my godly, my divine powers that were given to me by my God, but I'm sitting there in shackles, unable to do anything, and I have to listen to them, watch him rip open. It's just a bystander.
It's never
Just a
personal.
bystander.
It's never personal with the lizard.
Oh my gosh! And from my perspective, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've just put 17 maniacs in such a tight enclosed space. How did I not think they'd all just start ripping each other apart? And so that's how I knew. After the first day, I was like, I gotta get him out of here.
I was surprised we were in there for that long. Or I was also surprised that we hadn't killed anyone else at that point.
Yeah. So what did you? What did you
Two
think
more
about-
nights and you would have had 10 people in that cell.
So what do y'all think about the Drow Mistress Elvara?
Not much.
Didn't really get to experience.
Yeah,
her a
we
lot.
didn't really. She wasn't developed.
Being
Not very
completely
well,
honest,
but
we didn't.
they didn't have us.
But that's not your fault.
Impact on me.
And that's
not-
We saw her one time and she just seemed
Yeah.
like a bitch. And then whenever Scar Guy came to the door and he was like, hey, I want to let you out because I want to look better and make her look bad. I mean, essentially just typical warden, and like the vice warden just wants to be better, and so that's about where it ended. She didn't.
Okay.
But
There wasn't a whole lot of flavor.
With Scarface, I will say I did like the adrenaline of whenever I asked where my promised dagger was, and he just turns and throws it, and it
That
lands
was
like
intense.
right by my face.
That
I'm
was
just like,
cool.
I like this guy. Take
Yeah.
it out, continue the chaos.
I hope we get to see more of them.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. You definitely will.
Okay, good.
The chase
I tried to get that across whenever y'all were
Whenever you
leaving
kept saying they were chasing,
about how she looked over the edge at y'all. That was kind of to get across the point that you are going to be dealing with their pursuit for the entire campaign. So that's just how it's going to
Good thing
go.
we just got
I
out
wanna
of
know
a
if it's
flooded dungeon.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
that,
we will
I think that might slow them down.
How
a
are they
little
gonna? How could they possibly chase us through what we had to go through?
well, it's
It's a
gonna beat us up
completely-
because he is right.
A
Because
completely flooded dungeon.
You're right.
well,
it's gonna be
that
difficult
also
for them.
we
But-
were in a
but
cave where the rocks just
I mean,
collapsed,
there's
and we were
that
trapped
too.
in there.
There's a reason
They
we have
got
a
set back a bit for that, yeah.
It's
But
good.
at the
Very
same
sad.
time,
But
at the same
we're building a boat right now, which is gonna take
days.
days on days.
Are there
They have
other-
days on days.
Are there other things to make boats around there?
Is so
We
we'll
just
get
moved
in,
into
let's get
chapter
into
two.
chapter 2
Alright.
after the
Alright,
first half.
alright. Watch to see more.
So, let's talk about some of the prisoners that you guys enjoyed.
Myself.
Well, besides each other, like the NPCs.
I like Stool a lot.
Yeah,
I thought Stool was cute, and I wanted one.
yeah.
very
not
tasty.
Sarah.
He tasted
Sarah. Well,
Not
Sarah. I'm gonna be honest. My character is not gonna like Sarah. Sarah seems to me like a rule follower, and it kind of like
I don't know.
whenever he said
You was in
Whenever-
there for murder.
Yeah.
not okay, not
Uh,
no one in this prison is a
Rule follower, the rule
But
follower of murderers.
He said, "Let's not go back to Minzo Baranzan because
He
they're
just
going
wants
to
to save
attack
his
us."
ass. I mean, that's about it.
And I feel like he's in there for murder, and he's about to be executed, capital punishment. But whenever he saw me kill somebody, he was like, "No, that's not right." With all this moral stuff, I was just like not feeling a whole lot of consistency from what he was.
Now
doing.
that spoiler, in case go see the chapter 2 episodes because I'm about to spoil something. But the reason why that makes sense is because his character, the reason why he clings to Stool is because his mind is infested with spores of a demon lord, and I can tell you that because he's dead now. But
Man,
his
wait,
mind,
was Stool one of those?
so his mind was infested with that. Stool wasn't,
Okay.
but his mind was infested with
Thank
that,
God.
and
He
so
was a demon lord.
one he had an irrational need to get to Neverlight Grove, but also the reason why he murdered someone is because he was thrown into a fit of madness and killed him, and he doesn't even remember if he killed him. He thinks he's being set up, but he actually did kill him. And so
Oh.
really, he's a really
Oh.
stand-up guy.
So that's what happens when you go mad.
Pretty much.
With my level 1
Level 1
madness.
madness.
We'll go over that in a sec.
All right, I'm glad Lucilius trusted his gut on that one and decided not to try to.
I will
make
say,
friends with him.
even though he seemed just like as a really weird person at first, and he's also now the scapegoat, but I really like Shushar.
Yeah, you like Shushar?
Yes!
I'm glad. I'm glad you
Shushar
like
is awesome.
Shushar is so good.
Shushar is a personality.
accent is on point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't understand him.
You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to understand.
Wait, so if
My ability.
so is he supposed to sound different underwater?
So the way he's supposed to sound is as if on land he's speaking through bubbles. Like it says, you need to portray the voice. It's
So is it
like,
kind of like the thing in Young
speak with,
Justice
like,
where they
bubbles
have the
in your
little
mouth.
like
similar, yeah.
Is he
But,
completely fluent underwater?
He sounds like a normal person.
Oh my god.
So we just all like stick our head in the water and you're like, oh.
Yeah,
He's
it's
British.
Like, it's like that. all my characters are British. You haven't been able to tell.
Hello, my good friend.
Yeah. All right. So, anything else you want to touch on in chapter 1?
I
I think
thought
I'm good with chapter
of what's it called?
Oh, the whole lightning thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got to intimidate the whole party at once.
Oh yeah. How
That
do y'all
was-
like the demons popping out of nowhere?
Oh,
Were you shocked? Were you?
I
Oh,
shot
with
see
the
it coming?
birds coming down.
I
literally
The
shocked.
demonic insects, the Casby demons.
I didn't like that.
I don't know
like
how.
I was a little scared.
The
I
thing
liked
is,
Good. Then I did well.
my character was only in for one day, so like I don't know if this is like a daily occurrence or like what the deal is.
God, this is exciting.
How often does this happen at the prison?
I don't know. You were only there for one day. That's all you know.
Where-
I can't tell you that for stuff going forward.
It,
Where did they come out of?
Whenever the demons came out,
What
just
demons?
as character, like I wasn't scared. I became full of hate, because it's kind of
Enraged.
they're on the opposite end of my spectrum.
Yeah.
Because I'm a god, a godly kind of person.
You're a god?
He's on the spectrum.
He's kind of
and they're just on the opposite end. And I just whenever I have anything like that, I'm just gonna be mad or hateful.
Gotcha.
Alright.
Alright, so anything else y'all want to touch on in chapter 1?
I'm good.
No.
Alright, so right now is where we would like to do viewer questions in the future, so please comment in the videos your questions, or you can email us at our YouTube channel email at dndbags69@gmail.com.
It'll also be in the description.
All
below.
lowercase.
Or
We'll put that in the
Twitter.
description. Yep,
Twitter.
and we have
It'll-
Twitter.
it'll all be
Hit
in
us
the
up on
description
Twitter
below.
as well. But for now, what we're gonna do to fill this section is I'm gonna talk about some other Dungeons and Dragons podcasts and videos that you can go and see in case maybe you're new or you're looking for more material. These has been good for me. One big one in particular that I'm actually a Patreon for is called the Dungeon Cast. It's a podcast where they just talk about different subjects of like lore and stuff like that for the world of Dungeons and Dragons. They're fantastic. I watched every episode, and they are super entertaining as well. Let's see, and you can find them on YouTube, and we'll have the links for all of these. Find them on YouTube. You can find them on SoundCloud. You can find them on iTunes podcast app. They're everywhere. Another one you can find is Join the Party, which is a podcast on iTunes. They actually play a game just like us, and theirs is actually a bit flavored differently. It's not as visceral and violent as ours. It's a bit more fantasy and enjoyable, so if you're into that sort of thing,
Ours
you
is
should go and check it
enjoyable,
out. Well, I think
it's
ours
just
is
very
a bit
vulgar.
different. Ours is a
Very
bit different.
This is just
That's true.
Yep.
Fair point.
And so those are two of them right there, and till we get some viewer questions, we're gonna keep shouting people out. So, or we'll do both at some point.
We're just waiting for them
We'll
to
see
come in
what
now.
happens.
We're just gonna keep
You're gonna
going.
start flowing
So
in.
make sure to get those viewer questions in. All right. So now let's talk about chapter 2, the escape into the Underdark.
Yes.
Let's talk about the essential first half of it, where you guys were
food.
managing food, camping, struggling with madness,
I really like all this.
light sources.
That was
Survival
definitely an
aspects.
interesting thing.
That was
I
something.
never had to experience madness, and I didn't know that was really a thing. I guess every time we play, we've never had to. We've
Never
never
had to
had
deal
that
with
much
that.
darkness, I guess.
Yeah, so the Underdark is known for that. The Underdark
smart.
will drive you mad, especially if you're alone, especially in the dark. That's why I knew when you left, I was like, I gotta hit him with level 1 madness. So
Are you allowed to like go into that a little bit more? Because
yeah, so
I'm extremely new to
so
madness.
there are 3 levels of madness. There's
shit.
level 1.
Wow.
There's level 1.
33% of the way there.
There's level
1,
1
3, 3, 3.
where level 1 is something d10 minutes, and there's a chart in the Dungeon Master's Guide that I roll to see what happens. So yours, you started basically screaming.
Convulsing.
Your eyes rolled back, you blacked out, screaming. Which is a good one because then they can find you. Some of them are you stand motionless and you can't talk for the next, and you become frozen for the next 10 minutes.
I'm not leaving
Some
the
of
party
them-
ever again.
some of them-
Campaign.
Some of them are you think that everybody around you is an enemy, or that enemies are friends. So that's
Oh shit.
and then you got then you have long-term madness, which is something hours where maybe you can only walk on one leg, even though the other leg is perfectly good, or you constantly make twitching noises or weird, or you think you're an animal, stuff like
Oh,
that.
that would be really
Stuff
funny.
like that.
That would
And
be
then,
really funny.
then there's third level madness, which is a permanent flaw added to your character.
Holy shit. And it's like one of the
Yep.
second.
And you can get that removed with high level healing, but that's it. And once you hit the highest level madness, it strikes back to 0. But you still have that flaw, but it'll go back to 0. So when you get madness again, it's back to level 1.
So if he gets into that situation again,
You'll get to level 2.
he'll get
yes.
to level. Okay.
And then it just keeps adding on.
It keeps
So
adding
wait,
that's 1 every time.
Can
It's
I
different-
get rid of that though with the healing though?
Yeah, you can get rid of that with different healing things like that. So I would have to look at the specifics on it. I don't know the specific ones offhand, but there are spells that will chalk down your madness level. So yeah, and there are creatures that will make that madness level important. I was thinking about making a madness hit on Lannister when he fell and the black pudding surrounded him, but I thought, you know, he's almost dead anyways. The madness won't do anything if he dies, and they're gonna need him in the next fight. And so I was like, the madness won't have a cool effect right now because everybody's gonna be focusing on fighting. So
And he's just gonna be in the background going, ah!
exactly.
Hopping on one foot,
Yeah.
thinking he's
So let's talk. Speaking about that fight, let's talk about the temple, the oozing temple. What? The gauntlet.
Fuck the oozing
The
temple.
first big test of the party.
We didn't. We barely passed.
Barely got through it. But
It was like a 71.
Oh my god.
It was like a 71 out of 100.
y'all two definitely.
I can't complain. I got a really awesome weapon out of it.
You did
Can't
get
say
the weapon.
anything because I want everyone to wait and see because I haven't used it yet. But
Like I
Who
ended
grabbed
up,
that
I was
dagger?
so-
You grabbed
I did
that
not.
I
dagger.
was
You
so
grabbed that
proud of being able to make it up there.
and I have
did you get, is
I have
the
200
dagger
gold.
cool?
and I have 200 gold.
Is there like something with the dagger though?
I haven't
It's
looked
a
at
plus
it.
one.
I haven't
It's
looked at it.
finely crafted. That's what that
Okay.
means.
Okay.
So it's +1 to all rolls and attack rolls and damage rolls.
And for someone like him, I can now pay him to do what I want.
Yeah, I guess you can.
Oh shit.
Now my character becomes fully
Intrigued.
developed.
You
Let's go.
become Jim Jar.
Hey.
I bet you
But less
10.
betting. Less betting.
I bet you 10 gold coins you won't do this.
Oh no, you'd be paying me 10 gold coins
I
and
know.
I would execute it.
I
Oh
know.
my god.
All
Yeah.
I hear is another shield.
So did you think? So I think
That's what I
that
thought too.
I think that this question goes without answering. But did you think that the black puddings were challenging enough?
Fuck the
Yes!
Yes. I'm
It
glad.
killed almost
I
all
am
of our
a type-
party.
I am a tempest. My
Because
thing
here's the
is
thing.
electricity.
You guys
and thunder.
tore through that demon. It was so easy. I was like, well, looks like I gotta step it up a notch. And that encounter,
That's
the-
like
y'all know
15
this.
notches.
I've already told y'all this, but the audience doesn't know. That encounter is supposed to have 4 black puddings in it, and I brought it down to 2. One because I needed to draw it on the map itself, and I didn't have enough room. But also because I was like, these things are like really high level for where they're at, and so yeah.
Well, you were rewarded pretty well though, so I'm pretty
I
sure
was.
y'all aren't complaining now.
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh.
you got treasure. I
just
got
forgot
XP.
something.
What?
Where's Globadul?
We left him.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
so
He
still there.
couldn't get up?
He drowned.
Well, there
You
you
can't drown. They're amphibious.
He can crawl out.
Well,
That's what it said.
Can he
Does he
breathe
chase
underwater?
after us?
Does
Yeah,
he have
they're
to breathe?
amphibious.
We'll see. We'll see.
They
He's
live
in hot pursuit.
We'll see.
Hey, Gobble.
Hey, he's a gelatinous cube, so he moves really slow.
Well, it's
I
not
actually
only that,
told
but
him,
also
Babadook.
fucking topsy and turvy.
So Topsy and Turvy ditched as soon as they could,
Yeah.
middle of the night, that camp night.
I told. I
I'm pretty
I'm
sure
not
I
gonna
rolled
make
perception.
anything up.
That's fine.
What?
I rolled perception at that point, but I know you wanted them to.
They
were
it
out.
happened during the tremor or something.
Well, it happened.
It happened. It had to happen.
The way
Yeah.
it happened, it played off pretty well. Because at first I was like, "Wait, where are they?"
Because
Am I
you
supposed
really
to-
were like, wait, where are they?
Yeah. So that played pretty well. And I was like, "Wait, no, he definitely wanted them gone for a reason."
But
Yeah.
the prince is powerful.
And hey, I mean, who's to say that characters don't come back?
No, I know they're gonna come back.
Yeah,
I was just mad
definitely
because
comes back.
they're really good thieves, and I wanted to see their potential.
I'm sure. I'm
Check
sure
your
that
pockets.
They're, I mean, do you remember the Zwerf Neeblen Deep Gnome City?
Yes.
It's called Blingdenstone. If I had to guess,
They're probably going to somewhere called Blingdonstone.
Blingden.
Well, I don't know.
It says bling in the name.
We're on the way to
Whatever.
Got money,
Gracklestone,
bling bling.
and I'm looking forward to getting there because I know that place. That is one. Of the, that's one of like the
Where's-
3 places that I know.
oppressive.
Where's Fish Guy taking us?
Shushar, taking you to Sloobah down.
That's so we can
Does
navigate
anyone in
the
our
rest of
party
Dark
know
Lake, right?
where that is?
Sure,
Yeah,
does.
nobody else knows where that is.
But that's
What
so
that
we
is?
can navigate the rest
It
of Dark Lake,
is
right?
the Quotoa city in Underdark.
Oh, that's his people.
That's his people.
Yeah, but why do we want to go there?
Because
Are we going to be underwater?
because you need someone to navigate Dark Lake.
Yeah.
And he can only get you to that town. He
But
can't.
somebody
he
in
lied
the
to
town
me.
can navigate the rest of the place, right?
He
Well,
lied
yes,
to
he
me.
lied to you, but you were. I
We're
mean,
hoping.
you're a giant something foot lizard man
I
looking
saved
like
his
the,
life
the
multiple
look of death.
times.
But when you asked him, you looked like you had just killed a man in the cell.
That's true.
Eh,
So,
I mean,
Oh,
of course-
debatable.
Of
When you
course
asked
he
him
lied.
subjective. Maybe I upgraded the man into.
Well,
No.
well, I'm gonna love to see how this plays out.
The
'Cause
shield
even
is
though
still
we're gonna
dripping wet.
ask
so-
somebody to help us, I'm pretty sure all of us are chaotic except for Drew. So it's gonna be
Well,
very
good.
likely that we're gonna kidnap somebody and force them to come.
Oh, absolutely. The Quotoa are naturally evil, so
Oh, really?
there's no problem with that for sure. The Quotoa, you're gonna learn a lot more about them in chapter 3.
What is
Uh,
Shushar?
But they are Shushar is one of the exceptions.
Oh.
But they are to just
Wake
put
up
it
in the
just
middle
to
of the
just
night
to
with
put it
Shushar.
like this, just to put it like this for the future. They're zealots.
Oh god.
So
like
just
religious.
They're like
Just
me.
get ready. Just
Uh,
get ready. Yeah.
So
It's more-
literally insane. They shoot fire. They shoot
What do
lightning.
you, the Quotoa think about Drow?
What do they think about Drow?
Because they're both kind of
The
evil.
Quotoa stay out of other races nonsense.
Yeah, I feel like
because
they're very into themselves.
they're very focused on their worship because they don't really see any point in talking to other people because it's like why if I can just talk to the divine
Yeah.
to their divine and
heavily uses
Yeah, but
air
Shushar never
quotes.
talked to anybody. He
well
just
Shushar says that he meditated to achieve his enlightened state.
Yeah, and
That's
then
how he knows.
But I kept asking him if.
That's how he's normal, basically.
Oh.
That's how he talks to you. That's how he's a normal person.
Okay, so he's
Normal
not.
person.
He's not influenced by the other religious
Yeah,
zealots.
so he
Yeah, he
isn't,
said
he
he was-
isn't a zealot like the rest.
Okay.
That's how
okay.
that's how Shushar operates now.
He's Buddhist. Got it.
So I have a question for y'all. Mostly for you, because you're really the only one that saw it. I mean, you did too. So you two. What do you think about Prince Darendil's bestial rage
Fucking
there?
savage.
Yeah.
I
that
love
was.
it.
Were you ready for it?
I can't wait to see.
I did.
I just want to see his potential.
I thought my
don't
rage
even- I
was
don't even
scary.
think-
You woke up the gentle giant in it.
I don't even think we've touched what he can do.
So a lot of these characters, they are like straight stereotypes on the surface, and then they've got something going on underneath.
Well, I wish we
Um,
would have been able to see most of them do that, but.
Well,
Well, we got the
that's what,
prince.
Wait,
that's
we
what happens when
started-
you enter the bloodbath.
We started with like 16 people in the cell.
Then
and
we have
now
7.
We have 7.
Yeah. So
That's rough.
we've lost.
We got the
9.
prince.
2 people
We have the
escaped.
prince, and we
Everybody
do-
else
So
died.
Shushar.
there are 3 MIA: Glubladab, and Topsy and Turvy, and then there are Ront, Sereth, Bapido, Stool, Jim Jar, Eldith. Anyone else?
I don't think so.
It's cool. Once I get
All
to
of them are
Didn't
dead.
2 get, or at least, what about the girl? Was she
The
included?
dwarf, yeah,
Yeah.
Eldith is the female dwarf.
Okay. Who else died?
got
fucking bitch.
She got early on.
Wait, hold on.
Blah.
This is throwing it back to episode 1, or chapter 1, but,
Go ahead.
but did somebody, not follow us when we escaped?
No, they all followed.
Okay.
Everyone followed.
Because I didn't know if somebody, lagged behind.
I tell you for
I
sure.
was gonna burn the bridge, but then I thought otherwise.
Because it was very obvious that everyone followed because you guys looked back at Ilvara, Mistress Ilvara,
Help!
shouting,
Get help.
shouting,
Get out!
shouting John.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, they all followed
Luckily, we
John.
didn't need to execute it. Throws me at somebody.
Good help.
How do you like Glubladop?
Personality-wise, I thought it was a hilarious character.
Yeah.
But I hate the...
Mechanically?
Yes,
You
mainly
dislike him?
because I, dove for it.
I
and
like his
damage
accent.
For it.
Oh, hey there, chap.
Yeah, he's a lot like
I would've
Korg
just given
from
you the
Thor
mix.
Ragnarok.
He is a lot like
I
Korg.
think
To me-
I think that was a big inspiration.
I thought Korg was definitely up there, but Korg is more of like a New Zealander.
Yeah,
I
he
think
sounds
that-
way more...
I think that Glubladop is like a high proper British man with a monocle.
I feel
and-
like-
Oh no, I'm not talking about the accent. I'm talking about their personalities.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Maybe a little bit, but here's the thing:
Yeah.
Glubladop has 0 experiences, and so it wants to know. I think he.
Oh shit!
It's
So
a
it's
he.
just sitting in the
It's
dark.
a he.
We
He
ran
wants to
away.
know- He's so
We
intrigued.
left him.
He's so intrigued about the world around. He has blind sight. And,
He's blind?
and- well, he has blind sight and normal sight because he has eyes that he operates,
Yeah.
but he's also an ooze which maintains blind sight. I think. I mean, that's how I'm doing it. But yeah, he's just so intrigued with the world around him that he wants to know about it. And I wish I'd remembered that to get him to crawl out with y'all because that's how I was gonna get a lot of character background done. I was gonna have him be like, "So what's your name?" And then like
just like a bunch
like
of
questions,
dumbass
just questions all the
stuff
time.
in the
Yeah.
He just became like a puzzle piece in those corridors.
Yeah, that's
yes,
really it.
that is another big.
I was
goal for
like,
him was
get
that he
out
would
of my
block
way.
a lot. That was his thing though. Like he blocked the corridors a lot.
And
We're
he sat on top of that first.
That first one.
Well, one thing I realized is gonna help with him as well is
Wait, so
if we're ever having to camp somewhere, having that as a
Watch.
defense.
Yeah.
Well,
He doesn't need
also,
to sleep.
I forget what it's called, but it's like the corridor of arrows or whatever. It's like some spell
It's
that.
It's a spell that he has.
Corner of arrows.
Yeah. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's essentially to where if we're camping for like
It's like a
15
wood.
hours, we can essentially set up. It's like 4 mini crossbows that can sit on guard for us.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
like, if somebody just like comes up, it'll shoot and it'll be like 1d6 damage if they miss their saving throw.
That's cool.
and then I wake up.
That is very cool.
But so we just had Google
Glubladop?
Glubladop just sit through a bloodbath of like.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
he was sitting on one of the goose.
He was sitting on one of them. He was like, "I'm holding this bitch down."
And he killed it.
He
He
did.
did. He crushed it eventually.
He took it. He is not an innocent ooze anymore.
I don't
He
think
seems
he
very
understands.
ignorant.
He doesn't understand the concept of morality. So-
I'll teach
Hey.
him. I'll teach him. I can teach.
He was
You
gonna try and
can, yeah,
convert
teach him. Obviously, he's
Blue
ready to
Dot
learn.
fucking
What about
He
me?
wants to.
Oh wait, no, I don't want
I
that.
will
You struggle with that one.
I don't want to be defiled.
Yeah. I gotta say though, you guys' characters are starting to develop very well. You are doing really well character-wise. I think you could do a bit more. I don't know what it would
We
be.
didn't do anything.
That's the
in the
thing.
second
Y'all two
episode.
didn't
Okay.
do a lot.
We didn't do anything.
I mean, that was very on par with
Wait,
your
wait, wait,
character.
let me just bring
climbing
this
up the hole.
I was gonna say it earlier when we were talking about chapter 1, but like killing the guy and turning him
The
into a
snitch.
shield. It was because he was a snitch, but I don't see how that gave you an advantage. I think that was just pure revenge.
No, that's exactly what it was.
Is
It was
that?
an
I
advantage.
was
That
in there.
adds to
It was
I was
revenge.
in there for being
Revenge for him,
backstabbed.
advantage for me.
Okay, so
That's what it was.
so your character, even though he has like no emotions, still has revenge.
Me.
Okay, he has some. I'm more than him because I'm more human-like than he is.
I guess.
True. You
yeah.
don't have. You barely.
You're not
have.
human.
Blink
You have to learn.
sideways.
You have to learn it.
You are mostly.
But it
human.
was more of the fact is it's the ultimate goal of my character is getting like is essentially being I'm very greedy and
So am I.
so I was
Power or money.
money wise. So I was doing whatever it would take to get me more gold, and because I lost a weapon that would essentially because I was a slave trader and a gun
Yeah.
runner, I essentially thrived with weapons to get gold. And the fact that I
Gotcha.
lost that in like the first 5 seconds of the campaign really pissed me off. So
Well, it does kind of factor in because your character's parents were killed and you went after the killers.
yes,
And so you lose something, you're gonna go after it to get revenge.
to replace it essentially.
I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to walking up to him
I
and
see
just
that.
like flipping a gold coin in front of him
He's like,
and being like, "So,
I still have a gold coin.
I have 2.
I will say I didn't like how I was thrown off
I have
whenever
200 gold coins.
Oh, yeah, you
what's
got
the
Yeah.
Gooblaga or whatever
Glubladop.
he
Gloobladon.
reaching for the mace.
How he was the only one who noticed my scales and I had to throw it off his tattoos.
Mm.
That totally took me off guard because I didn't realize how
Could I?
like the giant lack of knowledge that he had. So when he was like, "What's a tattoo?" I was like, "Oh shit."
Could I have like, since I did the healing touch?
You could probably do.
I could have noticed.
If you did a perception, honestly, you probably could tell.
No,
Anyone that
I-
does that,
I did- I
I
did.
think that everyone in the party right now kind of knows, but they're not gonna press it, and they're like, there's something. He's not just human. That's my as the DM what I think, but
I feel
everybody
like
kind of
they
knows
think
a
of
little
me as a
bit.
threat, but not a big enough
Has
threat, so
Minecraft
they're like,
even
"Oh
heard of-
shit."
I'm completely.
You want tea?
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Who? Wait,
Yeah.
who?
You have no idea what he is.
Yeah.
You have no idea what he is.
Well, 'cause-
I
yeah,
think
that's the
that's
other thing.
nice.
Because aren't we like nowhere near? Like
I
our
think-
type of beings are
Your
nowhere near.
characters.
I have kind of a sense of what
I
it is
just know
because
you're
we speak
an
Draconic
overworlder.
That is
between
well,
each other.
okay, that is
Everybody's
true.
just overworlders at this point. That's why I'm like my character doesn't really like have like a friend
And-
in this
and I
game
hate-
at all.
Yeah.
And my
Jackie.
character hates
What about Prince
Underworld.
Daredevil?
I mean,
That's my boy.
he's an
Drow-
overworlder elf, so I guess
Okay,
I
I
would be
guess
more,
you're right. I guess you're right.
I would
How-
be more inclined to be friends with him than the others. However, I don't really know what.
What about Shushar?
Okay, I don't really know what the prince's motivations are, but then again, I don't think my character really has his motivations in mind. He just wanted to get out of prison, and now that they're out, now that they're on this boat ride, and they're kind of going somewhere, now he needs to start thinking about where he really wants to go. And I think that applies to a lot of characters. So for the prince, I don't really know how Lucilius is gonna feel, but for the fish guy, the Shushar, which everybody corrects me when I call him fish guy. I think I'm gonna hate his people so much and realize he's different, and then kind of like him because he's different from his people,
Yeah.
like my character is.
Nice. So relatable, like.
He's gonna be relatable.
I
Yeah.
gotcha.
My
Okay.
character.
Okay.
Wow, wasn't that in depth?
Yeah.
So is he like a underdark character?
He.
No.
Shushar.
Shushar, yeah. Kotoa are from the.
So
they
Underdark.
are? Okay.
Yeah.
So once I kind of figure that out,
I
I'm
think
gonna
so.
start
I think they're from
hating
the Underdark.
Can they have, because they're essentially aquatic, do they have like overworld and Underdark?
I don't
Actually,
know
they're
enough
driven
about them. I need to look
Into
it
the
up.
Underdark.
But I
Yeah,
maybe
you
they
guys
were
are-
driven into it.
That's in your
I'll look
homework
that
for
up
next
later on
episode.
and let you know and let the audience know. It'll come into play, I'm sure. Like this next chapter is Kotoa themed, pretty much.
So
That'll be in the next Plan D.
Yep.
And like and subscribe so you can see it.
Yep. So anything we want to talk about before we sign off here?
like, am I gonna end up? So if I don't really know this yet, but I'll learn that they're like an underdark people,
Yeah.
and could I develop my character into disliking them even more because
Probably.
yeah.
I would see why I wouldn't.
If you lay one finger on Shushar, there'll be a
We'll
lot
all
of
fuck you
infighting.
up.
There'll be a lot of infighting.
That's
And
true.
then we'll all be
A
standing
lot of
in
people
water, and
like
I'll just go.
Shushar.
I'll just touch the water.
All right.
Acrobatics, throws my dagger at the ceiling, climbs up.
No. Natural 20. Oh fuck, you made
I
it.
feel like the classic Lucilius move is I throw my dagger at the ground, bam, and it just takes off. You're like, well shit.
Hey, it worked one time.
Hey, he could have found that
and I
trap.
never
You
took
could have
any
found the
negative-
trap door.
Oh,
Yeah.
I also could have found the slime that landed on y'all. It seemed like I would throw my dagger at the ceiling, it would dink off, and then they would go in somewhere, something would fall from the ceiling. Then I threw my dagger at the floor, then they went somewhere and something jumped out the floor.
Yeah.
It was 2 times, I was like, I'm telling you, you gotta start throwing daggers.
See, like, I feel like I realize this with my character. I'm like, I don't really want to put myself in danger, but like when I'm in danger, I'll like throw it all at them. Because I asked twice for someone to test the waters for me, and twice the same person did. He's dead now, but
Wait, who was it?
Rip.
it was one of the
Was it Ron?
Ron.
It was Ron.
He's
Ron.
Ron.
Oh, God, Ron.
I made him check one, and he burned, and I healed him, and then he checked again, and where he didn't make it to the boat.
He did
Oh,
fail.
Oh well. Not everyone's destined to make it.
Would Ron have survived? Was there any chance of survival for him?
I let it happen naturally. I think that every character that was with y'all has the potential to be this epic character that you guys fall in love with and cheese with y'all throughout the entire story.
And instead, we were ready for them to die.
And every
so
other
we could
character,
move on.
and every character can also be a gym jar, where they just a one-off that die immediately. You know what I mean?
I love the prince.
Yeah, you like it.
I like how useful Jim Jar is becoming.
I'm
He's
glad.
very useful.
I'm
The
glad you
school
like
had
it.
so much potential,
Still
but
had
it-
a lot of potential.
but it saved his character.
He saved my life.
It saved his character's life.
Saved
so
my life.
And so
I
I
don't
feel
know
like
why.
Stool, though we don't know anything about
Right,
his
so-
backstory, still.
Did I get spores?
Here.
Did I get spores inside of me when I've been to stool?
No.
Oh, thank God.
Can,
I couldn't raise more. I couldn't get him out.
Well, isn't there a place we can go to get more?
Do we know how to get there?
Okay.
I'm interested in going there. I did my character.
Neverlight
did-
Grove is definitely another place that you guys can go to. That is
We're gonna end up
a
going there.
Myconid city,
Is there-
and
is
I'm
I'm
gonna
sure
figure out
they'll
a
be
way for our
ecstatic
characters
when they
to be
find out that
motivated
you
to
ate
do
their
that.
child.
They don't
So-
know. Hey, nobody knows that I did that.
Nobody knows.
You're right, nobody knows.
What,
You'll just live with that.
Yeah, but that's so
So-
Wait, but I've already
Since-
pushed it out of my mind.
You're probably right.
since
He's gonna forget about
since the prince is an elf, right, in another form currently.
Yes.
Do we get to? I just want to. I feel like there's gonna be a nice story to develop with that one.
There can be
Yeah.
if he lives through it.
Well, he'll definitely live. He's got like 45
He
HP.
just-
He does.
I'm thinking that now that we have like lower amounts of NPCs, like what do we have? We only have 2
we
others.
have.
Yeah.
So
We
you
have
guys
2
can
others.
start like we can start developing them one and arming them up. And we can arm them up and we can even give them abilities if we want after a while.
2
Like
NPCs.
We only got 2.
Yeah, we got 2.
I mean, there's some others like
Globbity-glook.
whatever the gelatinous cube.
Glucose.
I'm pretty sure Gelatinous Cube is just gonna be easy
Topsy
to
and
say.
Turby could come back, stuff like that. But
Could.
maybe they don't want to go with
I
y'all.
wanna get
There's
some
other
others.
characters.
Topsy and Turby
There's
was,
a million other characters
they were
in the
not
story.
excited to see me, so
Yeah.
I don't think.
A
I
million
think
other
they'd be
characters
pretty lovable.
in the story that might want to join up with y'all.
A million?
No, but a bunch.
That's a lot.
Um,
You should see the battle.
At least 5.
Oh my
okay.
All right, number.
Let's sign off
Alright, cool.
to keep the time limit.
That's true.
So thanks you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to keep up to date with all of our videos. Follow us on Twitter and make sure to comment to give us feedback on not just the new audio systems and how you like it, but how the campaign is going and things that we should do. So thanks a lot.